Hello. Yes, she is. That's the short answer. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cubist. I am Bill Corey. I am the Cubist, and I'm excited for tonight's show because we've got some really fun people. First of all, we have our fantastic second chair, Miss Kimberly Bullock. Hello, Kimberly. How are you?
Hi, Bill. Doing well.
Now she's going to be all quiet because I was picking on her about her giggling before. And our guests of honor today, first from yeah. There you go. Oh, that wasn't paused. That was weird. Okay, sorry about that. Our guests of honor. First, we have Eric Dupuis from Wyrmwood Gaming. Hello, Eric. How are you?
Hey, happy to be here. Great.
Excellent. And we also have Ben Hilliard from Daedalus Productions. Hi, Ben.
How are you, Bill?
I am well. For those of you that may not be familiar with Wyrmwood Gaming or with Daedalus Productions, they both make gaming accessories. So Wyrmwood Gaming makes sort of deluxe cases and storage solutions for other gaming accoutrement, so to speak, like things to hold card decks and dice and role-playing supplies and that sort of thing. Is that a pretty fair assessment of Wyrmwood's product line? Is the short version? I mean, I know there's more, but...
Yes. We also make tabletop trays for rolling dice, making sure the dice stay away from the pieces off the floor. And our most popular product right now is our dice tower, which of course is a great way to roll just fistfuls of dice if you're playing role-playing games or games and you just need to roll a lot of dice. That really just makes it super easy.
Dice towers are awful handy for my number one game, Eclipse, which ties me in nicely to Ben Hilliard of Daedalus Productions. They make custom game inserts. So the puzzle cut game inserts that you build into your boxes so that way you've got a good storage solution. Daedalus makes great stuff. They do the first custom insert I ever bought actually was Daedalus. It was for Eclipse, my number one game, and they have a fantastic insert for it, which we'll actually talk about later on in the show in specific because of the upgrade kit. But you're welcome. But before we get into all that fun stuff, have we been playing any games lately? Have you guys been playing some stuff? Kimberly, I know you have. You were really excited about.
I played one game.
Oh, and she predicted that she was going to cyber out. And lo, but she did. There goes Kimberly's internet. So we will come back to her if and when she starts making noise again. In the meanwhile, Ben, what have you played lately?
You know, the other night we busted out an oldie but goodie. One of my wife's favorite games is Agricola.
Ooh.
And so we've been playing a lot of Caverna, but she's keeps begging me to bring back Agricola. So we busted out Agricola. It's been like 5 years.
Oh wow.
And it was a blast.
Yeah.
I think I've decided that I prefer Agricola. I like the tension more than with Caverna, so it was a lot of fun.
Gotcha. We've talked about the differences between the two games on this show before, and I am Camp Caverna, but I think that's because I like the accessibility of it. I like the fact that I can play Caverna more easily with newer gamers. I think Agricola is punishing for new players, but I agree they're both fantastic designs, and I'm a very vocal Uwe fanboy. So as far as I'm concerned, if it came from Mr. Rosenberg, it's probably all right. All right. So on the Cubist scale, we're going to assume, by the way, that everybody that's watching the show at this point has seen either they already know how Agricola works or they've seen previous episodes because we've talked about it on here before. So I'll save you the sales pitch that we normally force people to go through. But on the Cubist scale, so buy it, play it, forget it, or burn it, where does it land for you, Ben?
Buy it. Maybe even buy it twice.
Yeah, buy it twice. Wow.
It's nice. A good one.
Yeah, it really is a solid game. It is. I tell you what, Mr. Rosenberg is keeping game insert companies in business almost all by himself, though, because every one of his games needs an insert. And they get more and more complex as he goes on, right? Like Agricola wasn't too bad. You could get away with a few, maybe a couple dishes and a baggie or two, and you'd be all set. Then Caverna was a nightmare. And I remember opening that up going, oh, my Lord. And then Fields of Arle was even worse because of all the oddball pieces. And now, I don't even want to think about Feast for Odin. which I'm sure that's, yeah. I bet you're thinking about it though, aren't you, Ben?
I am. I've had a lot of requests for an UA line of game inserts, so I'll get my act together. We've got a Le Havre right now and a Caverna, but I'll get my act together with the rest of them.
Well, it's not a matter. One of the things, and we'll come back to that. I'm going to say, I don't want to play my hand too early here. All right, Eric, how about you? What have you been playing lately? Is there anything that's been hitting your table that's got you thinking?
Yeah, well, I play Magic the Gathering every week at a local card shop, so I'm always looking for games that I can play in between rounds, before the start of the tournament or after, just hanging out. So kind of like the micro game idea. And my favorite of those right now is definitely Fuse. It was huge at BGG last year, and I picked it up, and I'm still playing it, which for me, if I'm playing a game that small through a year, I mean, I have to at least mention it here.
Even going to
for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's totally accessible. I've taught dozens of people how to play, and it's just really fast paced. And kind of the sales pitch is that it is the countdown timer sets how long the game is going to be, and that's it. So you're playing for 10 minutes, and that's all there is to it. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Gotcha.
So definitely.
How long do the games tend to go?
I believe I want to make sure I'm correct on this. It is 10 minutes, no matter what. Yeah. It's like literally at most 10 minutes.
Gotcha. Very good. Very good. All right. On the Cubist scale, buy it, play it, forget it, or burn it.
Oh, easy buy it.
Easy buy it. Do you happen to know off the top of your head what the MSRP is?
I believe I paid $20 last year. And let's see here.
Okay.
Yeah, $20 MSRP.
And that seems to be that magic price point, right? Where if things are $20 or less in the game industry at this point, you don't even think about it now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what that says to how much money we all have or what the dollar means anymore, but that does seem to be the magic number, right? If you can keep things to $20, it just sort of magically ends up on my shelf anyway. At least it seems to be how I'm looking over at my game collection and realizing that there's a lot of $20 games over there. A lot of games. Yeah. Yikes. So, all right. Very good. Fuse is a buy it, huh?
Absolutely.
And it's accessible enough that it works good as a small filler between other games. So it plays. What's the play count on it? Is it a 2 to 4 or is it?
You can play with 2 players. The most fun tends to be 4 or 5.
Okay.
It's the idea of the game is you're rolling dice, and then everybody has to take a die from the center to diffuse bombs, and those bombs are diffused by either making pyramids or towers or just sequences where this die is higher in number, or either colors or numbers are the only features there. So you either need like 3 red dice or a red dice, a blue die, and a green die.
Okay.
And I mean, I've taught a few children to play. I mean, it really is super accessible. But the thing that makes it scale well is you can make it exceedingly difficult by adding in more and more cards, and then cards of greater difficulty. So you can actually take it seriously. I mean, I don't. I just play it and have fun, and I'm almost every game I'm introducing a new person to it.
Yeah.
So I've never really delved in with everybody who's been playing, and let's see how crazy it can get.
Sure.
But we do gradually ramp up the difficulty no matter what the group is. You'll just next game add in a few more difficult cards and try and keep it always so it's very challenging. You don't want it to just be a cakewalk. So
sure. Okay. That sounds fascinating. Who's the publisher on that?
It is Renegade.
It's Renegade?
Yep, Renegade.
Okay. I should have known that. Mm-hmm. It's not like I haven't talked to Renegade enough. I believe Sarah's been on the show now 3 times. So you'd think I would have had that one at the. Sorry, Sarah. So very good. All right, Fuse from Renegade is a buy it. All right, Kimberly, you almost got to talk about your game, and then your internet freaked out. It was scary.
I know. Is my internet not freaking out as much now?
Currently, we can see and hear you. It's very exciting.
Yay! I have gotten to play Druids this week, which is Grant Rodiak Hyperbole Games. His custom wooden set with Battlejack, Chris Urenko, is that his name, I believe?
I think so, yeah.
Abstract game. My internet's tweaking now, isn't it?
No, so far so good. Keep going.
Okay.
Don't stop. If you stop, maybe
you
it
got
will
all
screw up.
pixely, sorry.
Nope, So far, you're all right.
Abstract game where you're trying to either take over the temple or kill the other person's guys with little stones in the middle, and they have different player powers when you pick them up. Easy to teach. It's beautiful.
It is very pretty. I've seen you posted a couple pictures of it, I think, on Instagram, and I've seen a couple other people talking about it. It's a beautiful, very, very minimalistic looking game, which is a selling point for me when you're talking about abstracts.
Yeah, and it was a custom Kickstarter, small run. I believe there were 200 or so copies. And Grant is currently seeking another publisher. So,
gotcha. Instead of Hyperbole, like he wants to have somebody else.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So publishers, pick that up. It's beautiful.
Very good. All right. So now, bearing in mind that the publishing of this is a little bit in the air at the moment, it sounds like, because he did a small run and now he's looking to, assuming that it was for sale, buy it, play it, forget it, or burn it.
Mm-hmm. Still rank it as a buy it. I wish that I had kickstarted it, but thankfully my friend Matt did, so I get to play his.
Very good. See, it's always good to have that one, and I know for a fact he watches the show now. My friend Randy.
He's on the chat. Oh.
No, not Matt. I'm talking my friend Randy. I know for a fact he watches the show. He doesn't ever watch live, but he does watch. And I referred to him on the show as Captain Buys a Lot. He's the guy in my group that buys all the new stuff. And frankly, saves my budget from certain doom. Like there are a fair number of things that I will buy if I know I want it to be here. But he buys a lot of different stuff. And so Captain Buys a Lot is very fond of picking up just all of the things, obviously. And I think that this is the exact kind of game that he would really look forward to. This is a 2-player only, right? Yeah. I think he would like the look of this one quite a bit. Very good. All right. I want to talk about Raise Your Goblets. All right. So this is from
the pictures.
Yeah, this is from Cool Mini or Not. Yeah, the picture that I took was really weird, and I'll explain in a minute. All right, so the basic idea behind Raise Your Goblets is that all the players it's a social deduction game. You're all attending this feast, and we all have goblets of wine in front of us. Basically, picture the scene from The Princess Bride, where Vizzini and the Man in Black are sitting at the rock, and clearly you can't choose the wine in front of you, that whole thing. But now put a whole bunch of people around that rock and have the wine goblets constantly be switching. So it's like someone's playing a shell game with goblets, and you have beads that you can put into the goblets. Some beads are just wine. They do nothing. Some are poison and some are antidote. And if a wine ever has more poison than antidote, then whoever drinks it will die. And it has more antidote than poison. Obviously, they're fine. And then the idea is that each person has one person that they want to kill. So everybody gets dealt a random, this is the person you want to kill this round. So you want to make sure that a poison goblet ends up in front of them, but you also want to live. Obviously, it does you no good to kill your enemy if you die also. So you're trying to make sure that a good goblet gets in front of you and a bad goblet gets in front of your target, all the while avoiding the machinations of all the other players. And everybody knows who everybody's target is. So it's not quite as random as it probably sounds. But so the reason that the picture that Kimberly saw was weird is we have a cake decorating, like Lazy Susan spinny thing, because my girlfriend is a cake decorator. And so we put all the goblets on her Lazy Susan in the center of the table. So there's this big white and purple, like weird Lazy Susan looking thing right in the center of the picture, because there's a lot of cards that say everybody passed their goblet to the person on their left. Well, it's much easier if you just take the Lazy Susan and sort of spin it a little bit. So we sort of inadvertently pimped out our copy already just by adding in props, so to speak. But so Captain Buys-a-Lot brought that over and we played it. And I think we only played one game of it. So we played 3 or 4 rounds, but you pretty much got the idea after the first round. I mean, there's not a lot of depth here. This is definitely a light, I guess, deduction game. And I say, I guess, deduction because it's definitely trying to be deduction, but it's very random and very light. And there's a lot of things that are not under your control. because everybody gets their 2 actions. And so 4 other, let's say in a 5-player game, you'll do your thing, and then 4 other people manipulate the board state before it's your turn again. Oh, hi.
Sorry, Bill.
Oh, that's all right. No problem. So it's it felt very random and whimsical, which is, I suspect, exactly what it's supposed to be. It's definitely going to make people crazy that like deterministic games, that want something where they know exactly what's going to happen. This is not your game. So for that reason alone, I'm going to give this a play it instead of a buy it. I think that it's very pretty. It's cool mini or not. So of course their production values are always pretty high, right? Like, I mean, they don't tend to make games that don't look nice on the table. So you're definitely getting good stuff in the box. And the gameplay is interesting. I just think that there is going to be a significant segment of the gaming population that is going to be made crazy by this game. I just don't, there's going to be a lot of people that are just going to be irritated the moment this one comes out. So for me, it's a play it. I think it's fine. And I would happily play it again, for the record. And I'm saying that because I know Captain Bislot watches the show. I definitely don't, hate the game. It's just, it's random enough that I suspect that a lot of people will be annoyed with it, or especially after 1 or 2 plays. There you go. All right. Is there anything else that anybody has played that you wanted to talk about? No. Go ahead.
Definitely mention TAC.
Go.
I can definitely mention TAC. That's been a lot of fun. We spent the last 6 months building TAC sets, and I'm just now starting to get some real time playing it. For anybody who hasn't seen the Kickstarter, we teamed up with Pat Rothfuss and James Ernest from Cheap Ass Games, and it's an abstract strategy game. Very simple, very elegant. Again, the rules you learn in minutes, but the complexity is just unbelievable. And one of the things that makes it really unique is you can play on varying size of the board based off of, kind of where you are. So you can start with like a 3x3, which is like a really complex tic-tac-toe. And then from there you go to 4x4. And then when you go to 5x5, you add in a second style of piece. All of the stones are flat stones, which can be either laid flat like a coin or on edge. And when you go to 5x5, you get a capstone, which can knock down the stones that are placed on edge. Otherwise, they act as a wall. And it's a road building game. You try and build from one side of the board to the other, either the 5x5 or 6x6. You could play on 8x8. But honestly, for me, at 5x5 or 6x6, there's plenty of depth there. I don't need an 8x8 board to get surprised when my opponent makes an unexpected move. So yeah, I'm really, really happy that I'm getting some time to play that after building them for so long, to start to have a little bit of free time to dig in, because it's hugely deep. It feels like chess or Go in terms of the depth. You know what I mean? Like it's so simple, but it's amazingly complex when you start to try and understand it.
When you were describing it, Go was the first thing that popped into my head.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen the game before, but it already sounds like it's got that sort of a vibe to it, if nothing else.
I'm looking at the Kickstarter now.
It's currently live on Kickstarter?
No, the Kickstarter wrapped over the summer.
Previously.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
We are still making premium versions of it. So like it is available on our site right now for January delivery. And we're just going to be making limited edition sets of that. I'm not sure how often we're going to be changing over the designs. We've got to kind of figure that out. But, we'll just use the different palette of natural woods to try and make things that are pleasing and, easy to look at and understand the game state. Just try and keep that simplicity of the design, but still be, beautiful and handcrafted.
That website, by the way, would be wyrmwoodgaming.com, WIRMWOOD gaming.com. I told you I was not above a cheap plug. I didn't mention that right there. All right,
Eric,
very good. Yeah, go.
Hey, Eric, have you read Patrick's books by chance?
I've read his children's books, or books that look like they're for children. I haven't actually had time to read a novel, and since Wyrmwood started, actually, I haven't had a time. The only books that I've been reading have been like full-length books, have been business books as of late. But I look forward to it. It's on the shelf waiting to be read.
Well, I ask hoping to see if it's, if tact is like it is described in his books with the name of the wind and things.
So I can't speak to it firsthand, but I can say Pat was involved in the process entirely, and they issued a book with the tax sets that we're sending out to the backers, and they're constantly referencing the lore of the books. There's actually so you've got like tavern games and kind of like a university or nobility style game. So when you're playing in a tavern, it's a smaller board, faster paced, and you don't declare tack, which is basically like saying check. Like you're dead next turn unless you avoid it, because you're playing for money and you're just trying to just be cutthroat. In the university or the nobility game, there's kind of this pretense of like everybody trying to play the most beautiful game that they can. So you'll announce, and like you might even let people take back a blunder, and just try and both elevate your level of play. So yeah, they really get into the flavor and lore of the game, and it plays, it expresses the ideas that the book was trying to convey. So he was using it as a narrative device to try and explain the different regions and cultures. But the game is so, I guess, I don't want to use the word complex because it's so elegant and simple, but there's just that depth. So it can kind of embody whatever you need it to. You go to an 8x8 game and all of a sudden, I mean, you're playing a game that could take like multiple sessions to get through because it's just so much depth. It's almost like you could be playing chess through the mail at that point where you're really going deep and trying to think, or you play a smaller board and it's just super fast paced and you're just looking to get a bunch of games in and fleece your buddy for as much money as you can.
Okay, so that was wormwoodgaming.com?
Yes, wormwoodgaming.com.
Okay.
Yes, and it is gorgeous. I'm actually currently looking at tack on the Wyrmwood site.
Me too.
I am. It is. You know who I bet you would absolutely adore this game? This is a Rich summer game if ever there has been.
Yes.
Like this is the exact kind of game that Rich would just go gaga over. I have a feeling. So Rich, if you happen to be watching this, you should go give them a lot of your money. Because I suspect that this is I mean, have you ever heard Rich talk about backgammon? He is a soldier in the war to make backgammon a big deal again. And I think that this is, I don't get me wrong. I don't get the feeling that tack and backgammon share a lot in common gameplay wise, but as far as it being one of those games where you can just dive in and play as much, as deep or as light as you want to, I feel like this is the kind of game that, yeah, he'd be all over this.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. All right. Well, I feel like asking if it's a buy it, play it, forget it, or burn it is a little bit of a loaded question for you, Eric, since you sell it. So I'm guessing you would like us all to buy it.
Well, you know what? I'll one up you. I would say you can pimp it if you go to Wyrmwood, or there's a free version online, which I highly recommend for everybody. And can I actually get that link up to you? Let's see here.
Yeah,
I can send it to you.
And we'll copy it. We will copy it into the chat.
There we go. Playtack.com. You can play for free. There's actually a lot of bots that are being made. And that's actually really encouraging because anytime you have an abstract, like once you start putting computer power into it, you just really have to hope, like, what's it going to look like? Like it may not play like you wanted because you're trying to build a road, but there's other win conditions. If the board fills up, the game's over. If someone runs out of pieces, the game's over. So it could, with computer brain power behind it, maybe the game would have like evolved into just this train wreck. It's totally, they play it from different angles. It's totally varied. So you'll be able to play against bots while you're learning, and then you can actually find live opponents. So yeah, playtack.com. Everyone should play it for free for sure. And when you're ready for an heirloom quality set, we're the only ones making them. And they'll be getting kind of like a normal version to market sometime next year as well.
Sure. This is fantastic. I'm see, now I'm back to the dreamy sighs as I look at your stuff again. We were talking about this in the pre-show. I met Eric, you were at BGG, right?
I was there the first couple of days, and then I tagged in one of my other partners. There's 4 owners. So Ed was there the whole time. And then Doug is one of my other partners. He was there for the tail end of the show.
Okay. I don't remember who specifically I got to meet. I feel like it was you. You look familiar, so I'm assuming that it was you that I actually met, Eric. And we'll go with that, even if it wasn't.
We'll go with that story. That's more compelling.
You can take me to task later if I'm wrong on this. But every time I walked past the Wyrmwood booth, I just kind of did a dreamy sigh. I actually dreamy sighed past the Daedalus booth too, and we'll come back to that in a second. No, I absolutely did. But every time I don't do a lot of shopping at BGG. I usually buy 2 or 3 things that I know I'm looking for. Like this year, I rushed Stronghold's booth because I wanted a copy of Terraforming Mars. I knew how much I loved that game. I had already pre-ordered the custom player boards from Game Trays. You know, I was already ready to rock and roll with this. So that I bought that, and then I bought a couple things for Captain Buys a Lot, and then 1 or 2 small things for myself, and that was it. Other than that, I don't do a ton of shopping there. But every time I walk by both of your booths, I had literally every time I stopped and I looked and I was like, oh, I really want that. And then I walked on. And this is my attempt at a segue here because what you guys provide. Okay, so the board gaming hobby is already kind of a luxury hobby. Like if we really think about it, everything that we do is pretty luxury, right? Like, I mean, you don't need to have, you know, a wall of games in order to, you know, have quality time with your family or derive enjoyment or whatever. But we do, and we love it. This is obviously why we're all here. But then a luxury product that works off of a luxury hobby is that niche within a niche kind of thing, right? And so you could argue that it isn't necessarily they're not all luxury products. Like we talked about before, how everything that Uwe makes screams out for a custom insert at this point, right? So you could argue that it's not a luxury, but it really is. I mean, you can obviously, a lot of people don't ever buy a single custom insert for their games, and they're perfectly happy. And a lot of people would, you know, don't have a beautiful hardwood, you know, dice tray to roll their dice in. They take the top of the box. So, you know, you guys are sort of occupying like this niche within a niche in our industry here. And so I guess the first thing that I want to know is why? Not, and I don't mean that in terms of why would you ever do this? I mean, how did you get there, right? Like how did you start? What made you decide that this is the thing that you wanted to do? I'd tell you what, Ben, we'll start with you because you're on the left, and I don't want you guys to feel like you have to wait for each other.
No, you're good. Before I started Daedalus, I wanted a, excuse me, I wanted a laser. I wanted a CNC laser engraver. And so I thought, how can I design a business to pay for this ridiculously expensive machine? And so I thought, hey, you know, let's figure something out. And my current job at the time, I was a healthcare consultant, and we'd teach lean business practices. So basically continuous improvement, operational excellence. A lot of people talk about, you know, the Toyota way and the way Toyota does things. And one of the main key core elements of Toyota is a tool called SMED. It's an acronym for single minute exchange of dies. Okay, but basically it's the big, huge machines they have in Toyota that punch out the door panels and anything else. And basically this tool they use is a way that they can swap over these machines in a very, very short amount of time. And I thought, hey, what's that?
I would say one would assume a single minute.
Yes, that's the goal. It's more like 5 minutes, but
sure.
GM and Ford, unfortunately, they're more like 24 hours.
Sure.
So Toyota's at 5 minutes, GM and Ford, or at least back then, they've made some improvements since. But I thought, hey, I love board games. I'm not a fan of how long they take to set up, you know, especially at the time, my favorite game was Merchant of Venus.
Oh,
and
sure.
You're setting out those tiles for about 6 years to play a game of Merchant of Venus. And so I thought there has to be a better way. And so in my head, I was working out this tray system, and I thought, you know what? Bingo. That's it. I'm going to design these trays systems. It'll pay for the laser. We launched a Kickstarter that exploded. You know, we were hoping for, you know, 5, 6, 10 grand tops, and, you know, it went way out of scale. We didn't think we'd ever go that big, and so it put us way behind. My backers were amazing, highly supportive, patient. We got them all out finally, but it was just great. And so that's why I designed, you know, Daedalus. How can we play more, work less? And
also, how can you own a laser for yourself?
Yes.
I like the way you think.
Yeah,
the problem is there's a few things I wanted to do with said laser, and I haven't had time to do them yet. So.
Now you can't do any of the things you originally wanted to do because you're a victim of your own success.
It's true. So,
gotcha. How about you, Eric? How did you end up doing? I mean, obviously, it's a slightly different like style of thing, but how did you get involved in?
Yeah, Wyrmwood was really born out of craftsmanship. Ian is, so there's 4 owners here with us, Ian and Doug Costello, Ed Marinville, and myself. And I don't know how far back you want me to go, but basically I'll go all the way back. Ian was a woodworker, and Doug thought woodworking was ridiculous. And then eventually he was doing graphic design. He wanted to be a video game designer. And when he found out that really wasn't for him, he just kind of tried out a little bit of woodworking. Ian was sharpening some chisels, and he just thought it looked really cool. Like just working with, it was like a samurai, you know what I mean? Like working with metal blades and stuff. And he got into it, and it just unlocked something in him. Like he just knew that was something he wanted to do. So he kind of followed in his older brother's footsteps to a degree there. And then the game house where they play every week, Ed had asked for a tray because, you know, things get a little raucous. Dice are hitting pieces. Fights are breaking out. Like, let's get a nice tray. And Doug made one, and it just kind of grew organically. And that's when I met them. They came to a Magic tournament that I was hosting. I was running a vintage event, and they had prototyped some deck boxes. And they wanted to see if that was something that vintage players would be interested in, because vintage is the oldest format in Magic.
Sure.
It's where you can play with the oldest, rarest cards. And that's kind of when the 4 of us finally, you know, made the connection. And we've just been kind of growing ever since with that core philosophy of craftsmanship. That's what ties everything together. You know, we really just look at it as, you know, when you build a piece of furniture, you're doing it to last for generations. And that's the same philosophy, the same approach, the same techniques that we're using when we're making these, you know, smaller pieces. Is, you know, gaming is something you literally pass down to your children. Like, I've got behind me games from my childhood that I'm now playing with my kids. And
I can see a few of the classics over your left shoulder. I was really excited to see a copy of the Mad Magazine game there. And,
oh, that's great. That one's great. Shadow Lord. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But these gaming accessories, they go on the journey with you, and it's like an antique. I mean, you know, in 20 years, to have a tray that's 20 years old is now more special compared to so much of what is made today, where you just want the new version. The old ones, it's garbage. You want the newest thing. And when we've kind of turned that on its head by returning to the craftsmanship that people really, you know, kind of thought had gone away. They thought that was, you know, 2 centuries ago, and now it's all just you know, modern, you know, just push a button and it's done. Everything that we make, it's all handwork. We have a team of over 20 craftsmen, and, you know, we're kind of bringing that tradition back. So I guess that's the defining characteristic of our company. Is if we had to point to one thing, it would be like our craftsman's promise, which is our unconditional lifetime guarantee. Everything we make, no matter what, for life, replace, repair, refund, whatever it takes to make it right, it will be on your table, period. So you buy a dice tray from us. We've had people, like, their dog chewed on their dice vault.
Oh, God.
I kid you not.
No,
There was a woman.
No.
Yeah, she came to us at Gen Con, and this was a woman who, I mean, you could tell like, because our stuff can be something that people have to save up for. This is for not everybody can just reach into their front pocket and buy what we're offering. But a lot of people really identify with it. They want to bring their gaming to the next level. They understand the value there. And this woman had saved and bought a dice vault. Her dog had chewed it up. She came back to Gen Con, and she was standing there trying to figure out which wood that she had purchased, because some of the domestic woods look alike. So Ed went online to the Kickstarter, figured out which wood it was. He told her, and then she starts like counting out $1 bills, and he gives her the dice vault, and he's like, "Here you go." And she didn't understand what was happening. He's like, "No, this is a lifetime guarantee." She's like, "My dog ate it." It's like, what part of lifetime guarantee don't you understand? Like, this is just, it's permanent. Like, that's it. You're done. So no, she was thrilled. She was absolutely thrilled, and we do that all the time. I mean, not all the time. People aren't feeding them to their dogs.
I was going to say, I feel like that's an entire subset of a business model that perhaps you haven't tapped yet here, sir.
Just really premium dog treats that are infinitely replaceable. But no, everybody, they take care of it. Nobody damages it on purpose. They want to have the same one for life. Like, you want to be able to, when you have a dice tray and you're playing a D&D campaign and you've got the leather on there and the dice just kind of distress it over time. You know, people love that. That's like a pair of jeans or something that breaks in and it's just your favorite pair of jeans. So nobody's wrecking anything on purpose.
I don't think there are a lot of dog owners that go out of their way to have Bolivian rosewood doggy treats. That just doesn't seem like the sort of thing that's likely to be a thing in the world. So that's, and what's funny is that I've looked at, I freely admit, Eric, and I apologize, I think this makes me a bad host for admitting this out loud, but I have yet to buy anything from Wyrmwood. And I think the reason for that has been that I wasn't looking at it in terms of the heritage that you express. I didn't really look at it in that way, right? Like, I didn't think of this as an heirloom thing. And that's dumb on my part, because I absolutely did think of that when it came to buying a custom insert for my copy of Eclipse. It's going to sound weird, but I thought of, what I thought is, okay, if for any reason I ever fall out of love with this game, now I've got this super decked out version of it with the insert and all this other fun goodies. I never really thought of that in terms of other things like dice towers and whatever, which is ridiculous and just proves that I'm not nearly as smart as I think I am. And that's, but that's such a cool way. I know it is. It is
stuff is far superior.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not gonna craftsmanship, sure, because he's got handcrafted, rare exotic hardwoods, and you have laser cut, puzzle cut inserts. So if you're looking at it from a craftsmanship standpoint, sure. But here is what I will say: your Eclipse insert is one of the best investments I've ever made into my game collection. I love that game. And Eclipse, talk about a game that is a total bear to set up, especially when you're me and you've owned every expansion that has come out for the game, and you've got stacks of hexes this tall that you've got to figure out which hex go in which stacks and how many of them to count out. And there's 80 million of these little discovery tiles and ships for days and dice everywhere and stupid little purple cubes that nobody can figure out what they're supposed to be for. All this stuff, right? and I don't know where to put it all. And you can only do so many baggies before basically you just give up hope and you stop wanting to play the game. Like, and this is something that I brought up before, is that I think that sometimes it's that extra touch that you put towards your gaming hobby that makes you want to play the games more. Does that make sense? Like you were talking about, Eric, with the dice tray with the distressed leather, that makes you want to bring that out. That makes you want to get back to the table and play again, because now you've got this awesome thing. It's part of your kit, so to speak. I want to play Eclipse because I've got this amazing insert. Actually, I just got the insert upgrade from Ben after talking to him at BGG, and now I want to play it all over again because now it's even more pimped out than it was before. It's so cool. So let me ask you this. I'm sorry, I talked way longer than I meant to there. I want Well, this is something that I'm really excited about. This is I've had a lot. We've done, this is episode 11, and I get excited for every episode. But in this one in particular, I'm really geeked about this because this is something that I know zero about. I feel like every other episode, I at least sort of know some stuff, and I can speak intelligently. I know nothing about woodworking, zero. Like I don't know how a laser cutter works, and I don't know the first thing about a chisel. So like in both of these, I am just dead in the water. So how do you figure out what products to make? Like what do you decide what the thing is that you're going to make? So I can say we'll go the other way. We'll let Eric go first this time. How do you decide what the next thing is that Wyrmwood's going to do?
I kind of don't. I actually let the custom shop figure it out. So we've got this custom workshop where people can message us and then have a commission, and like they'll just have their ideal product, whatever it is. And that's actually our next product that's coming out is going to be a DM screen. And we've gone through a bunch of generations of it, but that was spawned because of the requests in the custom shop for it. So it's kind of what people are actually willing to put money down to purchase. There's kind of infinite great ideas, but that's what distills it for us is here's a product that, you know, somebody has their perfect version that they want. So we'll make that for them, and then we'll take a look and say, you know, what are the things here that were kind of perfect and unique for them, and what do we want to bring into something that's kind of more for everybody? So that's our approach. We have probably half a dozen products that we're like in some stage of prototyping at this point.
Okay.
But yeah, it all kind of starts in the custom workshop for the most part, because that's, you know, but it's what people are actually willing to make happen, to bring to life with their commission. So
very cool. How about you, Ben?
Well, you know what? It's kind of similar. We have on our website, there's a design it tab. And so people are able to submit, you know, their requests. But mostly it is just customer driven. Or I need to condense space on the shelf. So, you know, I look which one has too many expansion boxes, and that's design. So
you're a man after my own heart. Like, you know, I'm going to make a decision based on how many Kallax shelves I can fit into this room. And if I can't get any more boxes on there, then stuff got to go. That's exactly how I feel. That's awesome.
So
that's super cool. Eric, for the record, when your DM shield happens, email me. Like when that becomes a thing, let me know. I'm actually in the planning processes of a D&D game myself. Finally.
Yeah, you know what? Do you want me to get the link if anyone's interested? We've got an email sign up. We're going to be sending out a mass email. Let me
please
see what I can pull up for that.
Please, I'll be happy to put that in the chat while we're at it. And yeah, it's funny, Ben. You made a comment before about how you felt like, you know, like, or at least you implied, and this is how I took it. Maybe I'm wrong. That you and Eric are wildly different in how you go about things. But I don't think that's actually the case. I think you're both meeting the needs of players that want to enhance their game experience somehow. And some, like Wyrmwood, does it through this heirloom quality. You know, this is a thing that you're going to be able to take from game to game and make amazing all on your own forever and ever and pass down. You're coming at it from let's make this game that you already kind of want to play super accessible, so that way it's always within 5 or 10 minutes of being table ready.
Yeah.
And that was I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you're fine. We usually tell people, you know, at Daedalus, we don't really sell box inserts or quick start inserts, or however you want to phrase it. We sell time. Yeah. We want you guys to get more games to the table, you know, and if it takes you just being able to get a game you usually wouldn't back to the table, we've succeeded. Or if it's actually you being able to get that game plus a whole other one, cutting out that hour of setup and teardown, we feel we've succeeded as well. So that's kind of our hope and goal as we sell hopefully more gaming time, because we all need more gaming time. For sure.
Mm-hmm. For sure. As your wall of Post-it notes points out. You need more gaming time, Ben.
Bill, you weren't supposed to say that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I out you? Well, you know what? Here's why I outed you, okay? Because I have them too. See those right there? See how my copy of Terra Mystica has a post-it note on it?
Oh, you haven't played Terra Mystica?
I have played it. I haven't played my copy.
Oh, okay.
My copy has sat unplayed for a long, long time. And at least, Ben, you were smart and you didn't make them neon colors that everybody can see.
No, they're blue. They're pretty bad. The difference is, Bill, you've only got one. I've got like 40 behind me.
No, I have more than one. They're just out of frame. I have very cleverly arranged stuff. So that way only
we can
stuff.
take care of that Terra Mystica issue, though.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm partnered with Rodney Smith on our insert number 2.
Ooh.
So we've got a Terra Mystica insert that'll take care of that problem for you.
I would be very excited for that because I've got Fire and Ice in there also.
We take care of that as well.
Yes. See, Ben, I knew I liked you for a reason. This is beautiful. But legit, your Eclipse insert, especially now that it's been updated for the Shadow of the Rift expansion. So funny story, and I'll out myself as how much of a jerk I am sometimes. So Daedalus makes this fantastic insert, and I've invested in it, and I'm really happy with it. And then what was it? 3 months after I bought it, I want to say 3 or 4 months after I bought the insert, Shadow of the Rift gets announced, and I'm like, no, are you kidding me? Suddenly they announce a whole new expansion that totally breaks the ability of everything to fit in the box. It's just not going to happen. And I'm like, come on. So I had messaged you, I think on Twitter at some point in time. And then I ran into you at BGG and I'm like, this is it. It exists. All right. And then Ben was kind enough to just send me the update. So that way I have my insert back to speed. As a matter of fact, there'll be a video coming of it within the next week or two. As soon as I'm starting video reviews. Terrifying.
I'm excited to see it.
Yep. So your insert's getting one of them. So keep a happen eye on this channel and it'll be there. Very cool. All right. I'm fascinated by not only the passion that you guys have for the hobby and what you do, but also with the smarts. You guys are so everybody's here is so much smarter than I am. It's almost slightly depressing. I'm going to post this. This is the link that Eric just posted. It's a Facebook link on how you can sign up for your mailing list. Is that it?
Yes.
Oh,
yep.
nice.
You can sign up for our mailing list there. We'll be announcing our DM screen when that goes live. Any of our contests, like right now we're running a contest on our Facebook page. We're going to give away a $500 credit toward that custom workshop. So people can just go there. Just a like, share, comment. It's like the top post on our Facebook page, so they can head over, like the page, and do that, and have a chance. Certainly for people who are, kind of saving their dollars, waiting to be able to pick it up, might as well just go.
That sounds awesome. Well, I will be signing up as soon as we're done with the show here. My internet, I can't tell if it's my internet. Nope, because I see Ben moving. That's good. I think Eric's internet freaked out a little bit there.
Hey, it's not mine for a change.
It's not just you, Kimberly. Yeah, well, this is what happens when we have a whole bunch of video streams crisscrossing the United States all live. But hey, it works out. All right, I got to tell you, both of you, Eric and Ben, you're both way smarter than me, and I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules to be on the show. And really, what this comes down to is this is me leading up to now is the part where I get to make you seem less smart than you actually are. It's time for it's time for our rapid fire segment. This is how we close out every show. So we make our guests answer 5 questions as quickly as they can. No pausing, no stalling, no repeating the question, so that way you can buy yourself time to come up with something clever. It's time to go with what you got. So let's see. I randomly flipped a coin before the show started, and Ben, you have been chosen first. So are you ready?
Sure. Eric will look a lot smarter than me now.
You can do it, Ben.
All right. Ben Hilliard of Daedalus Productions. You are prepared?
Sure.
Here we go. Ben, your favorite cooperative game?
Pandemic.
All right. Your favorite epic game to dedicate a day to?
Merchant of Venus.
There you go. A lifestyle game that you just can't get into for some reason?
Probably D&D.
There you go. The correct cocktail to drink while playing Merchant of Venus.
No idea. I'm the world's most sober man. No idea.
All right. And dice, cards, tiles, or spinners?
Dice.
Dice. All right. Very good, Ben. 4.5 correct answers. Well done, sir. That's all right. It's all right. Everybody's allowed to have that one that they just don't get. Ask Kimberly about her first time with rapid fire.
Hey. That was a very excited answer, okay? It was just incorrect.
Yes, it was.
The enthusiasm was there, Bill. That's all that matters.
The enthusiasm is always there. It is sad that you had to turn off your video to keep your bandwidth going.
I know.
Because you had the elf outfit and everything today.
I know. I tried. I'm so sorry. Christmas.
You are the enthusiasm behind the show.
And the beauty.
Eric, there's also that. Eric Dupuy of Wyrmwood Gaming. Are you prepared to apparently look smarter than Ben?
I mean, as ready as I'll ever be.
There you go. All right, Eric. Here we go. Your favorite abstract game?
TAC. Right now, TAC.
Sure. Your favorite icebreaker game for meeting people?
Right now, it's Fuse.
Fuse, okay.
Yeah.
An epic game you've played once and never need to play again?
Only once? I mean, Descent is something that I'm happy I played, but I probably won't be going back to it.
There you go. All right. A celebrity you would love to play social deductions games with?
Probably Nick Offerman.
There you go. And your favorite type of cookie?
The correct answer is white chocolate macadamia.
Good answer. Good answer.
Good. I can't agree with your assessment, but I like your confidence, sir. I love your confidence. Very good. All right. Ben Hilliard, if people wanted to know more about you, where would they look on this wonderful thing we call the internet?
You can find me on my worst email ever, website ever, which is daedalusproductionsinc.com. It's a mouthful. And that's DAEDALUS. Worst name, I got it. Also, you can find me really on Twitter, and that's Daedalus_PI. And then Facebook as well. So.
Gotcha. Oh, see, and I was trying to be clever and type it in, and then I screwed up the website. All right, we'll get back. I will fix that later. Don't click on that first link. I don't know where that goes. Very good. Don't do that thing that I just did. Daedalus Productions in. Yeah, that'll go wrong somehow, I'm sure.
Don't ever click that, yeah.
Don't ever click whatever that is. Eric, if people wanted to find out more about Wyrmwood Gaming, where would they go?
They'll go to wyrmwoodgaming.com. We've got pages explaining our custom shop. All our products are available there. And definitely our Facebook page as well, Wyrmwood Gaming on Facebook. We're very active on there. A lot of contests, giveaways, a lot of interacting with the fans there. So,
and you also have a Twitter at Wyrmwood Gaming, do you not?
We do. It mostly mirrors our Facebook. We also have Instagram. Instagram's starting to get kind of bigger. If you're into the craftsmanship side of things, definitely follow our Instagram. We'll get more pictures on there, kind of stuff from the shop or custom pieces that are really striking. There's some Instagram exclusives. Twitter pretty much mirrors our Facebook for the most part.
Yep. It's just it's good for folks to know that both exist, because I know there are like people like me that try to avoid Facebook as if it were the plague. There you go.
There you go. You'll get it all on Twitter then. Absolutely.
Perfect.
Just follow the Instagram too. I want to see the creation photos.
And Eric, since you guys are so close, I feel like it would be untoward of us to not invite you to my birthday party. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but the Granite Game Summit, which will be in Nashua, New Hampshire, April 4th through the 6th.
Nope. April 7th through the 9th.
7th through the 9th. I said the wrong day. See, I'm just bad at things. This is why. This is the glory of doing a live show, is that I'm going to say and type the wrong things at least once or twice per show. Anyway, that's my birthday party, because my birthday is the end of March, and Kimberly has been so kind as to clearly schedule it around my birthday, because that's important.
Yes, I did. That factored in. Thank you very much.
Yes, it did. So
when's the birthday? I'm the 28th of March.
I am as well.
Bill,
Whoa! What?
We're birthday
Birthday
buddies.
birthday party ever.
Yes.
Wow.
There you go.
And Matt says you should bring a nice tack set to G2S so we can all play it.
Yes. And perhaps wrap it in birthday present wrapping. I'm just throwing, I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
You got to put that out there. You know what I mean?
You know
That's
what?
how that works. Speak to the
He
universe.
is okay with a shameless plug.
Exactly. Also occasionally begging. Begging is all right as well. But for realsies, I'm telling you, Eric, there's going to be birthday cake at G2S.
Right.
You should.
All right.
We can put your name on there too. I am a sharing kind of guy.
Eric,
Well, we'll have
it
to
is a
take a look at the
great way
schedule.
to
Thank you
spend your
very much.
birthday.
There you go. Kimberly Bullock,
Working.
our fantastic co-host, and thank you so much for keeping things sane and the coordination side of things. If people wanted to know more about you and what you do, where would they look?
I am at KJ Bullock on Twitter, and as Bill mentioned, I own and I'm the founder of Granite Game Summit, granitegamesummit.com, and at G2 Summit on Twitter.
Also known as Bill's birthday party and Eric's
Also
birthday
known as
party.
Bill's, potentially Eric's, and Ben from the Dice Breakers.
There you go. So many birthdays.
So many birthdays, guys. Come on now.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but Jay Cormier, Bamboozle Brothers, is also March 28th. It is an auspicious day.
Wow.
It is an auspicious day in the gaming universe, and also mine. So there you go. All right. Thanks everybody for watching and hanging out with us. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. This is awesome. Thanks for making me feel smarter, Ben and Eric. You guys are the best.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Take care, everybody. We will catch you all on the flip side. Be good.